Lindsey German, Stop the War Coalition. You are not, of course, of the far right, but you are here to demonstrate with Lexit, with people who have supported Leave from the left, and you are demanding the resignation of Cameron, who, however, announced he will leave his office. What do you expect now? New polls, new elections?
I think that the referendum result has shown a huge amount of polarisation in this country, a huge amount of different attitudes towards things. And I think that Cameron was absolutely right today to say that he should resign. He created this referendum. People didn't want it. It was an argument between two sections of the right wing. But actually, working class people in very, very large numbers have said that they don't want to stay in the EU. I don't believe it's mainly about racism. I think it's to do with a whole number of things, to do with not controlling people's lives, with the fact that people's wages have gone down, their conditions have got worse, they don't have schools and hospitals, or not enough of them. So I think this is what it's about, and I think we should have a general election. Jeremy Corbyn's the Labour leader. He will stand on a programme against austerity and against the cuts that have made people's lives so miserable. He's also a very committed anti-racist and in favour of people having the right to come to this country. So that is what I want. These Tories are poisonous, they're racist. We want to get them out, not just Cameron, we want to get all of them out, and we want the result of this referendum. We're leaving the European Union, but we're not leaving Europe, and we're not leaving fighting against the establishment and fighting against the ruling class.
Someone said that the program of Jeremy Corbyn could become reality outside the Europe. It will be easier to become reality outside the EU.
Well, the EU stops governments that are left-wing, that want to try to end privatisation, that want to nationalise different industries. It stops governments that are in any way challenging the austerity politics that come from the European Bank, the IMF, the World Trade Organization. So yeah, I think Jeremy Corbyn, actually, I think lots of people agree with his programme. I think if he goes to many of the traditional Labour areas and explains what it is that he is doing and why he is doing it, I think he'd get a very, very good response.
The last thing about the Western Front, the Western Alliance, this is also a major breakup from a strategic viewpoint, not only for EU, but it means that also Nato could be in doubt.
Well, I think we're seeing the beginning of the end of the EU. I think we will see further breakups. I think it is already not hanging together over the refugee crisis, over the partial abolition of Schengen, which has gone on in the last year. And yes, it does affect the military alliances. I'm also in favour of breaking up Nato. I think Nato is a force for aggression. I think it has led us into too many wars, and it is trying to foment wars again in Eastern Europe. So for all those reasons, yes, I'd like to see that broken up as well. And I think this vote will help it.